Hello everyone, welcome. So around 1 month ago, I released my first mobile game called Grumpy Snake. And without wasting anyone's time, here's the numbers that you probably want. In 1 month, I earned $3.72 and I got around 2,750 downloads on my game. And that's with mostly because of a Google Ads campaign that I did. So now that I did you a favour of not wasting your time, maybe you can do me a favour and hit that subscribe button. So for those more interested, let's jump into some more precise detail. So if we're going to get into more detail, I think the best place to start is probably the Google Ads campaign, because that's where I guess all of this is coming from. So the reason I went with Google Ads was because they offer a free €75 for your first campaign. So that's why I went with this, and I thought I would do it for like 1 month and I would spend maybe a tenner a day. So my goal was like €300 basically for the whole campaign. When you create a campaign, it starts giving you recommendations on what it needs, and for Google, basically, it just started saying, give us more money constantly. So within a few days, instead of spending a tenner a day, I was spending €47 a day, and I just wanted to follow the recommendations to see what would happen. So instead of a month-long campaign, it was more like a week, maybe a little bit less than a week, before I spent my full budget and it ended up going to €311. And from that, I pretty much that's all my downloads pretty much came from this. You can see from this dashboard graph of exactly when the campaign ended, it just goes blip and plummets down. Since then, I have been getting kind of daily downloads. Like I get like 1 user a day maybe, and I'm not sure if I would have gotten that if I didn't go over the 1,000 limit. I've seen a lot of kind of people talking about how like they get like 20 downloads from people just that they know, and then that's it. It's done then after that. So you kind of need to get. I think you need a base user count just for the Google algorithm to start showing your product to users. So maybe the problem was, you just need to put more in. Like would I be getting more downloads if I had bought basically 10,000 users? Because that's pretty much what I did. I paid to get these users. So take that for what it is. I do wish I went and put a bit more research into the campaign, because I was panicking. So I clicked release. Obviously nothing was happening, because nothing ever happens when you click release for the first time. And I was worried that the longer it stayed on the platform, the less likely the algorithm would look at it. So I was kind of panicking. It's like that day I release, I have to do like an ad campaign to get some downloads, because I wanted it to get picked up and start getting recommended to people. So I didn't do enough research. I kind of just started the campaign, let it do its thing. I didn't set any target locations, which I think I should have, because what we can see here is that all I get is most of the impressions that they did 450,000 impressions. A lot of them went to Iraq for some reason, India, Russia, South America. Almost nothing in like the United States, nothing in the UK, nothing in Ireland. And I think these are probably the places to where Snake is probably pretty popular as a game, or at least it's the most well known. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would assume. So I'm not sure, like, having a thought of my impressions being in Iraq was beneficial to me. So yeah, I don't know. When I look at the Google dashboard and I go to countries, Russia is actually my most downloaded place. So the Russian campaign went actually pretty well, but Iraq isn't on this list, which is concerning. Like, why isn't Iraq on this list? Yeah, so you can see here that although Google gave Iraq a large chunk of my impressions, it didn't convert to actual user acquisitions. I got like maybe 100 users from Iraq, even though we give them more than 100,000 impressions. So I guess tip number 1, if you're going to do in Google Ads, try and do maybe more targeted locations, do some research and do some because I just let it ride and see what would happen. And I'm not very happy with where it ended up targeting. But who knows, like, maybe these are huge mobile markets and that's why it does that. So maybe just it depends on your game, if you can find out if those games are popular in what regions, especially because it's not I didn't localize the game, right? So I think the English speaking countries would have been more beneficial to me if I had targeted them. The campaign isn't localized either. So just quickly, here's the Unity dashboard, in case you just want to see that. I don't really have much to say on this. For the game itself, what I had an ad playing every 3 times you play the game, pretty standard, and I had a rewarded ad that you could basically continue to play if you pressed it. You would watch a 30-second ad and the game would keep going if you pressed it. So we could break it down that the normal video made us $2.73, and then the rewarded video made us $1.24. So it looked like my normal video was more profitable than the rewarded video, and I don't know if that is a good thing. I think maybe people should be incentivized more to click this button to continue to play. And also, this is the longer ad. This is the 30-second ad. So this one I think should be more profitable than the normal videos. So that's probably another thing that maybe I did wrong, where I should have made that button click just isn't worthwhile, and people just didn't want to click it, I guess, because it was kind of rushed in and poorly done. And that is everything I have to share at the minute, I think. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I wanted to make this video during my Christmas break. So sorry, my energy is pretty low. I hope someone found this somewhat useful. I came up with some pretty good insights from it. I think I'm happy enough with it. If I was to say if this game was a success or a failure, I think overall I got what I wanted out of it. Like, I wanted to experience that forced release. I think my biggest issue was that I got sucked into the game too much. The whole point of making this game was to just release a game, and yet. So I spent too much time trying to make the game good, even though it's a fucking Snake game. Like, what am I doing? Why am I spending so much time trying to make this game like high quality when I should just be releasing the game and moving on to a project that I actually care about? Oh, so it's original. And that's the biggest issue, I think, is what I had. I spent too long on a game that wasn't supposed to be kind of this big deal. It was supposed to just be like, let's just pop this release cherry, and I spent too long on it, and that's my biggest issue, I think. But anyway, that's it. So that's all there is to it. If you found this helpful, give us a like and subscribe, maybe share it around. Who knows? At the minute, only my mum and Upper Boot Club is subscribed to the channel, so if I could get a few more people in here, that would be fantastic. I would be really appreciative of that. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Bye.